Thanks for the support as a channel member, Doy7. I've still not been able to find anywhere to live because I'm still not earning any money. So it's time for a job hunt. We've gone to the town of Bourne, Massachusetts website to have a look to see what current openings are. This is the first thing that came up on Google when I searched for jobs in Bourne. And I'm a little bit alarmed to see they need snowplow contractors. How cold is it in Massachusetts? I wasn't expecting to be in deepest, darkest snow territory. I could be a patrol boat operator, but I think the job that's got my name written all over it, shellfish technician assistant. This feels like a Kev job. Some examples of the things I could be doing in this job. I can be informing fishermen and the general public of various laws. I've got an interview to prepare for. Hello and welcome to part 5 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you. As the transfer window, it's really a registration window for us. We're an amateur club. We're not doing any transfers, but the registration window is opening. We're going to be playing Bridgeport and the Evergreen Diplomats. Since you were last with me, we have continued to do very well in this league. If anyone's wondering how to sign good players to compete in the lower leagues in Football Manager, especially when you're in a league full of amateur and non-contract players, definitely recommend head to the season preview and just sign as many of the Media Dream 11 as you can get. As the season's gone on, you can see that a few other players have started to emerge. So now the registration window's open again. We might well look to grab a couple more of these. But to be honest, I don't know if we need them. It's going to depend on if players start to leave, because we are now in that tricky stage you get to with these real lower league saves where we've gone through the first 6 months or so. The players who were auto-generated to be with the club from the start are now getting to the point where they might decide to leave. And we have got an offer in for Gavin Panico. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. We're an amateur club. I guess we could offer him a new contract on no money, but it just, to me, feels a little bit, I guess we could talk to him. All that does is asks him to make a quicker decision. Brockton are in our league, but I guess the difference is, are Brockton going to be able to pay him? No, they're an amateur club as well. Then I guess it comes down to, is Brockton nearer his house? If Brockton's nearer his house, or his big buddy plays left centre-back for Brockton, then he might go to Brockton. And there's not a lot we can do about it. Time to Panico. So glad he was the first one who got that. I've wanted to do that all along. Don't Panico. We've lost Panico. I'm full of them. It's probably best that he leaves. So this is the team for the Bridgeport game. We've got Diallo in goal, a back four of Panico, Jones, Vargas and Moore. Old Man Atencio and Edgar in midfield. Seal and Hernandez out wide. Fletcher and Kevin Smith, not that one, up front. Kevin Smith, by the way, has scored an extraordinary quantity of goals. He's currently on 25 goals from 18 starts, 27 from 20 in all competitions. Kevin Smith, not that one. I think he actually might be that one. The other one is probably Kevin Smith, not that one at this point. But let's submit the team. I am expecting another victory because we are just a very good side at this level. We dragged the Media Dream 11 together. This is Bridgeport Vasco da Gama, apparently, that just said. I love the American lower leagues. So I guess we know we're a Bourne Town tiny little affiliate club. Presumably Bridgeport Vasco da Gama are a Vasco da Gama. That's a football team, isn't it? We need to do some Googling again. So Bridgeport Vasco da Gama is an American soccer club. We don't call it soccer anymore. An American soccer club founded in the 1940s and based in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They play in the Connecticut Soccer League. Is there no affiliation with Vasco da Gama? Vasco da Gama is a football club, isn't it? I now need to check this. Is it a person? It's a Portuguese explorer. There is a football club called Vasco da Gama, isn't there? Or have I completely made that up? How could I have made that up? Vasco da Gama football. Yeah, there we go. Vasco da Gama is a Brazilian professional sports club, but it seems like there's not actually any affiliation with the Bridgeport version. Oh, hold on. Clubs named after Vasco. A Bridgeport on here? No. back to the game. Here's me thinking we had a super exciting 2 affiliate clubs facing off against each other and it was going to be awesome. But no, they've just named it after some Portuguese explorer. Much less exciting. And why would they use the name Bridgeport as their shortened name rather than the much cooler Vasco da Gama? That'd be like us calling ourselves Town FC, which, I mean, that we've got those 2 strange teams in this division who both have United seemingly in the name of the place that they're in, with an American-style sports name after it. So I guess we could be the Town Hunchbacks FC. Is Hunchbacks a good name for an American soccer team? It might be. Is it Merrimack? Yeah, no, it's not Merrimack Valley United. I need the league table on screen. I need to go find it. Right, we haven't scored yet in this game, which is a little bit unusual for us. Perhaps the game is realised I was up to shenanigans and looking up football clubs, and we have gone behind. This, you could be witnessing our first defeat of the season here. I still think it's unlikely. I'd like to think Kevin Smith, not that one's going to have goals in him. We are playing at another one of these weird prison car park pitches. I wonder if these are all taking place at the same prison car park pitch somewhere in the outskirts of Boston, because that seems to be where the vast majority of the teams in this league are based. It's basically the Boston League that we're playing in here, with the odd team from, I think someone mentioned in the comments that there's one team from out in Baltimore, but the rest of the league is all in the Boston area. So the Baltimore team are a little bit out of place. But then in some of the run-throughs that we did, Bourne, when they don't get promoted in the first season, tend to move to the Atlantic League in the second season and leave the Boston clubs behind and move a little bit further out east. So I can't keep up. It's there's a lot of clubs, all strangely, all squashed around the metropolitan areas, which I guess makes a lot of sense. But it is 1-1 now. It's a good ball in from Panico, and Fletcher is there to tuck it home. Fletcher becoming a bit of an unsung hero of this side. Obviously, Kevin Smith, not that one's getting all the plaudits because he has been scoring a ridiculous number of goals. But Fletcher was here at the start and is looking good. Old man Atencio there just cleaning things up again in midfield, trying to get the move going again. And the deep cross from Moore on this side, and Smith is there to fire it home. It's close to a carbon copy of the first goal. It's just coming off the other side. A deep cross from the wing back, and the striker at the far post is there to thump it home. We've done it both ways round now. I like having a couple of good strikers. It does make me very happy. And wing backs who can cross well. It feels like a Kev team. And the fact they're not playing wide further forward does seem like a little bit of a mistake when we push so far forward with our wing backs and play with wingers. But they're not overloading the midfield because it's still 2 versus 2 in midfield. So really, they've set themselves up for us to batter them today. And that's what we're going to do. It's now 3-1 just before halftime. Fletcher with his second goal of the game. And did it say how many he's got this season? Fletcher must be well into double figures now. He seems to be getting better and better as time goes on. If you remember, back at the pre-season, Fletcher was considered to be in the media dream 11 before we started bringing in all sorts of other players to push him down that pecking order. But he's never really lost his place in the side. He's always been good. Was it Sanchez we brought in after him? He's the first player who's been released. He wasn't happy at his lack of first team opportunity. So I just thought, you know what? We're an amateur club. Let's be brutal. If someone doesn't want to be here, rather than pandering to him and making him happy, we just don't need him. So he's already left the club after playing a couple of games. And I think we are now, like I say, halfway through the first season. The player churn is going to begin now. I'm going to try and keep hold of as many of these boys as I can, especially the ones who are showing some aptitude for awesomeness. Because it would be nice to build a team around the likes of Kevin Smith and Old Man Atencio for the next several years. I'm not sure if we've got several years to get out of Old Man Atencio, but we'll try. But the more fringe players, I think, are probably going to become quite interchangeable fairly soon. But there he is, Kevin Smith, not that one. Goal 31 of the season for him. It's Bridgeport 1, Bourne 4. And all they did by scoring early is make us angry. They've brought this on themselves. And once again, this seems to be our new goal. Get it out wide to the fullbacks. Early deep cross. And the strikers just do the rest. I don't know if that's a new thing that is happening since the winter update that came out the other day that kind of killed long throws. Long throws don't really work anymore, which I'm very sad about. But I'm noticing a lot more of that kind of goal. So I don't know I don't know if that's maybe a little bit more likely to lead to a goal in this slightly amended version of the game that we're playing on now or not. On the note of the new data update being out as well, it does kind of put a spanner in the works of giving you the Bourne database to play, because the Bourne database and this save were all created on the previous version and I didn't do it. So it's not as simple as me just going in and fixing it. I will see if I can get an updated version of it for you. If it's as simple as just loading it up in the editor, verifying rules and exporting it again, then we can do that. But if there's any more work than that involved, might not be able to share the database unless I could share what I've got and you just have to play it on an older version of the game. It wouldn't work on the latest update, which I guess you could start the game on the older one and then play on the newer one. That would work. Is that even possible to do? I'm not entirely sure. If anyone's got a simple solution for all of this, let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to get it sorted for you, probably over the weekend if I can. Right, let's just tickle everybody's tummies. That's all good. And see who we're playing next. Who are we playing next? The Evergreen Diplomats. Do we know where they're based? These are semi-pro, so these must be good. They're based in North America. Fantastic. So the Evergreen Diplomats they are now again. The Evergreen Diplomats was a professional soccer team based in Landover, Maryland, presumably where the cookies come from. That's all we know about Maryland in the UK. But I guess in one version of reality, the one you might be used to, they don't exist anymore. Don't worry. In our version, they absolutely do. And significantly, they're second in the league as well. So they're the second best team. They're only 11 points behind us. We've been dominating, but they've not been too far behind. They're looking very good for that playoff spot, or one of the two playoff spots behind us. So let's go out there and try and beat them. The transfer window has started. There are a few more offers coming in for some of our players. So nobody's left yet. I would expect players to have left before the next episode, though. I don't know if they're going to turn the moves down or what's going to happen with them, really. But I'm kind of keeping an eye on... my mouse is going to die. I'm keeping an eye on any positions we might need to go and strengthen as well. But we did bring in a lot of young players back in the summer as well, who haven't really got a look in. So we could potentially bring some of them up into the first team as well, because I don't know that even if we lose 2 or 3 players, I don't imagine we're going to start losing games anytime soon. So we may as well start trying to get some youngsters into the team, even though they're not under contract. And I guess if they're any good, they'll just leave me. And it's very sad. But Seal has just put us 1-0 up after 18 minutes. And that just extends our lead at the top of the league, which is very nice to see. 14 points clear now after 20 games. And a free kick comes in with Jones getting on the end of it. And he's trying to head it goalwards, but cannot. It's nice to be playing in a proper stadium again. Our ground is a lovely ground. I'm a little bit confused about why we've got greeny grey seats rather than ones that actually match our kit colours. I imagine that's probably my fault from the database, but we won't worry about that. We'll just assume there's a good reason for it. Oh, Smith's done brilliantly there. He had no right to get to that ball first, but get to it first. He did. And Fletcher should have probably done better with the chance that Smith's created for him then. It's very good play down that left-hand side from Smith. And we should be 2-0 up, and we're not. It's 1-0. 1-0 is still fine, though. I can cope with 1-0. And we're going at half-time. Things are going well, but they could go better. That's a much more succinct way to say what I was waffling through before the half-time whistle went. But it is us to kick off this second half and hopefully go and add to our 1-goal advantage from the first half. Fletcher is in behind again here, crosses over, looking for Kevin Smith, who heads the ball wide. I don't know that I've ever seen that man miss a chance before. He's missed one there, and we are leaving the door ever slightly ajar for the Evergreen Diplomats here. Panico with a free kick that's pushed over the crossbar by the, I guess we call them the Diplomats goalkeeper. And now it's Fletcher with the corner, and it's headed clear again. And we're getting some chances and not really capitalising on them. But Seal has just scored an absolute beauty. I wasn't even expecting a shot from him there. He's hovering on the edge of the area. The ball bobbles free to him, and he's just smashed it. He is, he's done all right, isn't he? I'm trying to think of Seal puns, and all I can think of doing is singing Kissed by a Rose, and I'm not singing. If he scores 40 goals this year, I'll sing that song and put it on Twitter. might have to drop him if he carries on playing as well as he's played today. That's why 40 goals, I think we're probably safe. I'm not expecting him to do that. Carrillo is another one of these players who is under offer from another club. So this might be the last opportunity to see him. So we'll bring him on and ready for him to say goodbye. And we're actually going to take off Kevin Smith, not that one, which is very rare. And then old man Atencio can get a little bit of a rest as well with Ruvel Kaba, who I think is a young teenager. He's 22. They all look like... I'm 38. I'm not 38. They all look like young teenagers to me, apart from my buddy Atencio, who, we hang out together. I think we're going to get a house together once I'm earning a few quid. I found him on LinkedIn in real life. I think I'm going to try and make contact with him and see if he wants to do a house share while we're both hanging out in Bourne, trying to find some part-time work. I hope he's got a real job. He's 44. If he's still trying to make it as a footballer at 44, I'm a little bit worried about him. Bless his cotton socks. But the Diplomats have got a goal back here. 10 minutes to go, and I've made a few changes, taken off some of our key players, and I might have been a little bit premature in doing it because they've got a chance to get back into the game here. It's them with the throw again. Panico isn't and gets it clear, and Edgar now just plays it back to Seal, who's looking for his hat-trick. He wants me to make a Twitter video. Not interested. Ruvel Kaba plays it forward to absolutely nobody and leaves us back in trouble again. But Fletcher has dropped deep, finds Hernandez, and we've got Salter, who's hovering around the far post, and he's hit. Talking about the far post, he's hit it. Smith probably scores there, but Salter's another one who came in and for a little while was in the media dream 11. He hasn't been in there for a little while, presumably because Smith has forced him back out again, but he was supposed to be a star when we signed him, and because of not really getting game time, it hasn't really worked out for him yet. So I suspect he's going to be one of the others who leaves relatively soon. But the important thing is we have made it through the episode. We've won both games. We are almost certainly going to have some new players to show you in the next episode. The transfer window stays open, or registration window. Get your words right, Kev. That stays open until towards the end of January. It doesn't quite line up exactly with the end of January. It is... Registration window goes until Monday, the 27th of January. And then that's it until the end of the season then. One other thing people are asking for is prize money in these leagues. So I guess I can try and find the prize money of the Premier League, which is probably the one that's most interesting to look at. So if we charge through the United States Premier League, it only shows me the bottom half ones, which is frustrating. Yeah, there's some decent prize money to be had. That's for sure. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.